What's up, everybody? How are you doing? Hope this is your escape from puppet masters and puppets here on the Hex Guild. We are approaching a bear market. We don't know when it's going to happen. Bitcoin's being a teaser right now. Some of the Hexicans say that we have reached the end of phase 1 in a bear market, and now we are on phase 2, which should be a lot more promising. I can't wait to see it. I think that it would be a great time for you to introduce crypto to some folks that are local to you. I think that would be a great time. I've got some stuff that you could give out to them. So if you send me a mailing address of any sort, a business address, P.O. box, residential, I don't care whose residence. You don't have to give me any information. I will gladly use a postage stamp and a few cards in the mail. Boom. Why? Because Hex has been good to me, and I can't wait for you to share it with other people. These are tools that you can use to your advantage. Maybe once you get the tools in your hands, you'll feel more powerful, and you'll start to be able to vocalize that out to other people. Earlier today, oh my goodness, I keep in touch with some people who critique others. And a person I don't keep in touch with is Nerd Girl. And she recently said that in a tweet that some of our our maximalist influencers aren't actually maximalists. They are just maximalists on the front. And I just wanted to laugh because it was like she had maximalist in quotations, but she didn't have influencers in quotations. Who the fuck are these people? Do we even fucking care? Get your hex, stake your fucking hex, and have yourself a ladder, and enjoy your life. Go and do passions. So, a recent passion thing that I've done is my passion's architecture. I like to create things. So I've got me a 3D printer now. You can't see this very well, but printed that off, and I got plenty more stuff that I'm working on. Keep your butts busy. And use Hex to where it actually organizes your organic life. That's what I love about it and that's what I preach on Twitter all the time. But so many people, it just goes right past them because Twitter's a dumpster fire. Like, these people don't have any morals. If you have any morals, you probably walked away from Twitter, or you didn't even start Twitter, right? Right, Finbear? Right? Finbear doesn't have Twitter. Am I even live? I am live. Yes. So thank you to Lindsay the Hexican. She created these bath bombs, and she also created these awesome truth bombs. Lip bombs, right? How do you like that, Marcus? Lip bombs, truth bombs. And then I also sent her later on a Pulse Chain logo one stamp, but this is the stamp that then made this. So great job, Lindsay at Vibra Finance, and I think that you did an amazing job. Like, the colors on that are awesome, and I almost don't want to use it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it to somebody in order to influence them. So somebody who either is into crypto or hasn't yet gotten into crypto, and it's just sort of a reminder that will be there for them to follow through. Other things that I wanted to talk about is, yes, Pearl. One of our newest members to the Hex Guild. She's very active in chat, Pearl, and also we interviewed her 2 or 3 weeks ago. She she came and created. She wanted to know about the Hex Guild decentralized treasury, and so she wanted to donate into the treasury. And I said, well, hey, we just had a stake come up, so it's time to create another stake for 15 years. So that's what she did. She put down a certain amount of hex. I'm not sure how much. And it's staked out for 15 years now. And she gave us a screenshot of the information on that. So I'm going to get that information and put it into the table. And so that we'll have another updated JPEG of our table in order for us to reference. So that's very awesome. And then so because she made the stake, I suggest that she keeps the stake as well, HSI, in a wallet that's not connected to any of your personal finances. And then therefore she is the custodian of that HSI, of that stake. Now, I believe that was on Pulse Chain only. The rest of the stakes have duplicates on both Ethereum and Pulse Chain. And I think that would be absolutely lovely if we continued to have every 6 months at least one member that's new to the group and would be interested in creating an HSI and Guardian holding that. I think that would be phenomenal. So let's try to make a habit of this. I think that would be really cool. Another thing that I wanted to say is that I ran across a Twitter, a tweet, a video of an Aussie guy saying that the Aussies over there are having issues with their bank accounts. And so they might be having like a controlled bank run backlash, CBDC introductory situation going on right now. So just FYI, this stuff might be happening. And it might be happening right now. So I don't know what all the implications of that are going to be, but just FYI, those Australians are really having issues right now. We had a little bit of drama another thing I wanted to talk about. We had a little bit of drama in the chat. Let's allow that just to cool off for a little bit. And then I think we should invite the person who was deleted out of the chat back in and let them know that we wish that certain actions would have been taken, like disciplinary actions, right? Why don't you talk to people and let them know what it is that you're not interested in them continuing, rather than just outright banning? That's my opinion. But we'll figure that out, and we're all friends here. So something that also came to mind is that we should have we should discipline racism and sexism. We're all being manipulated by the puppet masters, right? That's why we're in Hex. We're in Hex because the rest of the world has gone crazy with their money systems. It's because we want freedom and we want responsibility. And so, but racism and sexism, we just can't have it in the chats, and that should be understood. But I think that's the only lines I really have. Like, you guys call each other names, disrespect each other, and have a fight and work it out and come back to the circle. And if, like, the Telegram says that I'm the owner of the chat, which means that I'm the one who owns the tools that can actually get rid of people and even admins, right? So just everybody be cool. Be cool. All right, so what do we got? We got HOA is up here. Where is everybody? Yeah, I agree. And Marcavelli, what's up, man? Whatever it is, it's pumping eHex right now. Sweet. E-Hex is pumping. Racism doesn't exist, Marcavelli says, and women are the... Okay. Women are special. We love women. I don't know what your relationship is, Marcavelli, but I have a fondness for females. Okay, so what I wanted to do is go into the awesome stuff that Crypto Truth set us up for. So I dropped the ball on Monday morning. I wasn't even paying attention to it. We had a cold front over here. Crypto Truth was ready for us to do a live stream, and he's over there in the Dominican Republic. And the idea was that he was going to visit flea markets and introduce us to everything on the street with the flea market, which is freaking awesome. So it ended up being really awesome as well. If you haven't seen the videos in the chat, I'm going to bring those up on the screen by sharing my screen. And then also, I'm going to play some audio off of a recorded Twitter space that we had after I was late. So I'm going to pull that up and then share my screen at the same time. So the audio is going to be off of me. And this audio is 51 minutes. So hold on tight, guys. Oh, I could actually do this. Once I start talking on the audio, then I'm going to play certain videos because he did videos before we did the audio. Yeah, let's go with this one.
Here I am at the smaller flea market, and people are coming to open up, but I'm gonna go to a different one. I'm gonna grab a truck like this, boom, take my scooter, and head out. I got over to it. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I don't have the code to get into the room. Whoa. But look, you got Hex.com, this whole bag. I was selling socks too. Look, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's so... Hola, ¿cómo está? Hay mucha cosa ahí. Can you guys see it? There's a lot of... It's far. Where am I at? It's far, guys. A lot of people here. Haitian, Dominican. Ça café, madame? Yeah, so I don't have a link to get in the room. It's like 9:15 now. My internet is going off at 10, and then I'll buy another packet so we can push it back to 10:30, 11. That's what I was thinking. You guys let me know. And yeah, I don't have Bluetooth. Dang, that makes it hard, right? And I can go wheel and deal. Like you guys were saying, you let me know, because I'm actually the wheeler dealer. I had to put my stuff up because I was hustling too hard.
Yeah, he keeps saying that he doesn't have the key because I was late to the show. All right. We had some cold weather come into town, and that just took my attention.
Oh, good.
So I love those videos that you
I'm just up here at the market.
That's awesome. Those videos look great. The food looks awesome. So how is it that you get your merchandise over to the people to peruse? Like you showed us how they lay plastic down on the ground and they put plastic in the air to to have a rain cover. But how is it that you get a spot over there, or do you go and visit the vendors and you sell to the vendors?
So I actually do everything that you just said. I put stuff on a table. Sometimes I'll leave it there, but I usually vend to all the other vendors. And so I just walk around and they just watch me they're like, what are you doing? And then they get the idea and they're like, well, bring it to me too. And so getting merchandise here is just purchasing from people that are already bringing it here or the factory, and then delivering it to the vendors at a much less expensive price. At the same time, identifying merchandise they have that I can move as well.
So how long do they set up there?
So people can get here as the day before and start preparing, or 7, 8 this morning, 9 o'clock, people still get here. Like I got here around 8 or so. I went to the other market earlier, like I sent the video. That was a small market. I'm at the big one now, and I got here like at 8:30 or so. And now it's 11:30, almost 12. And people might leave around 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Something like that.
So what is it that they leave there all the time? If they clean up, do they take the floor and the awnings? Or do they leave that behind?
So there aren't any awnings. It's all like tarps that are tied to trees along the property, or sticks that are makeshift, just put straight up in the air from the ground, and they just tie ropes and balance it and tie them to tables, and it just make it happen. Like there isn't a set way. And then there's a cleanup crew to clean up all the trash, but everybody takes their merchandise. The other market, that smaller market, they are more of a people sell really, really inexpensive, sometimes borderline trash merchandise, and so they leave their stuff there. But markets like this, huge markets that have sometimes 10, 20,000 people in one day or more, they just set it up in 24 hours and it's done. It's start to finish.
Is this how majority of people exchange goods?
No. This is how majority of the Haitians exchange goods, because it's not really regulated, and it's comparison to what you would say the border in Texas and U.S., right? With Mexico, the Mexican border, or the Canadian border, or any other border that's being crossed by another people. There's usually a little more difficulty, and so you tend to do most of their business in markets. And the Dominicans, they tend to do it mostly business to business, just, common business trade.
How close to the border are you?
No, I'm like 3 or 4 hours each way.
So
I'm like central, basically.
I saw that food is being created and sold, so there's no regulation on the food standards.
Well, I mean, every country has regulations, but what's being upheld and how strict are the regulations, that's another matter at hand. But no, I can set up right now. If somebody brought me a grill and I'm sitting here talking to you, I can just start selling food. It's so amazing. I love that. I love that about this country.
So tell me about the delineation between, you can't set up on the sidewalk.
Yeah, well, basically you need to have a word of mouth consent type of thing. You need to know somebody within the area you're at, or be in a public enough space where it doesn't matter that you're there. But literally, you can put up in front of another business. You can just start selling stuff, and if somebody says something, you'll be like, okay, all right, I'll just go over here, and you walk like 10 feet or something. But nobody ever says anything. That's what's so amazing. The only people that say stuff are like just, your average person that just doesn't get along with.
So what kind of foods, you've got my interest with foods, what was it that you showed us? That was okra and...
Yeah, okra. Yeah, kind of basically, and it's like a form of a potato that gets stirred and mixed. They're like superfoods over here, man. And I just spoke to a importer exporter that has a export company, and he said he exports vegetables and fruit to the not to U.S. and Canada. And I was like, wow, I would love to send stuff to people, and so that just developed like an hour and some change, where I had about a half-hour conversation with him about how I can send some of these superfoods over, and the seasonings and just everything natural and organic and just amazing. So that's a whole nother development that I was talking to. But there's vegetables I'd never even seen before in the U.S. Here, just like I'm sure in a lot of different countries. But I mean, these purple vegetables and these bright yellow and bright orange vegetables, I mean, they're very energizing. I would like maybe for us to figure out how to research them and get the nutritional details and, I mean, distribute it among the community as well. I mean, there's just a lot of opportunity here in all areas.
So we saw the gumbo, but can you tell us what other foods you're seeing?
Yeah, food like pastoreo, chayote.
Can you explain what those are?
Yeah, it's like a potato, but it's nothing like a potato. If the consistency is, I guess I would compare it to the potato, and it's in that family, but they're so much more flavorful, even with nothing on it. They're just so flavorful, so energizing. My diet mainly consists of these super vegetables that are brightly colored. And I don't know all the names of them because some of it's sometimes mixed into a regular, maybe a potato salad. But remember, it's just the consistency, but different flavor profiles, from sweet to sometimes sour to spicy to bland, but like it's satisfying and fulfilling. I mean, I find that a lot of the every vegetable here is just very vibrant, very juicy, and I don't know, man. I can't really find the comparisons in the U.S. I'm looking for something comparable, but everything over there seems so bland and lab made that I just would compare it to eating you're a banana, and then you're at a watermelon, and then you have your pineapple. All these flavor profiles you're gonna find within the vegetables as well. Within they have a high amount of people making soups and teas here as well, just because of the amount of vegetables, the variety available, and the different trees. There's so many different plant life, and yeah. But
So do you find the Haitians buying from each other at the market and then cooking with those ingredients, or do they buy from the Dominicans' storefront and then bring it to the market? Or how do they get their food that they're preparing?
So there's a lot of farms, and they go and get them from the farms. And then who doesn't have the contacts from the farms, they're coming to the market. But then there are Dominican markets with Dominicans that have amazing prices that I buy from as well. So it really here is, probably it's like this worldwide, but more here than I noticed in the U.S., everything is relational. Everything is super dependent on who you know or what you know, and the relationship that you have with said company or people. It's super dependent on that. And then if you have family, that makes it even better for the introduction. But it's all relational here. You have to find out the who and the what in order to get the best prices and the best quality goods. And whether you're Haitian or Dominican or American or anybody, it's all on how you're moving. And they have a word over here that it's like I bet basically translated to like a stupid person, but it's like a bird, and they call them palomo, right? And that's somebody that's like not very knowledgeable, somebody who doesn't really get what's going on, and so they're able to take advantage of. Well, a lot of the system here is based on what you do or don't know and how you can communicate that. And I guess it's like that worldwide, but here it's like do or die. Like they'll take advantage in a second. And so you just have to be on top of things. And you can pretty much make a deal with everybody as long as you're on top of your stuff.
So I saw that you had socks. Where did those socks come from?
They're actually being sent to the U.S. from a different company, which I'm not fully aware of. So these companies deal with every company worldwide. And when there's overstock, they liquidate. Like today, supposed to be a big liquidation of some like soccer socks, baseball socks, and they're like, I'm not sure exactly the company because I'm buying them from another liquidator. And anyhow, they're athletic sports socks, 100% cotton, and they're discounted. Everything that here is discounted, and yeah, I guess they're more athletic related. Those socks. Was that your question?
Rout's got a question.
Yeah, man, with all these markets and stuff, do you ever deal with like counterfeit stuff, fake product?
Well, yeah, they have a lot of that, but I just prefer not to do it. I actually have a ton of hex stuff right now. Because I'm on Twitter. What's that?
He misspoke. He's out now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. What was the question again?
If you deal with like a lot of counterfeit, fake stuff at the markets.
So everybody here pretty much has fake stuff, but what wouldn't be easily recognizable is there's hundreds of thousands of pieces of original stuff, but you guys would think it's like thrift store, but you're going to find brand new stuff in there as well. That's a whole nother crazy aspect of here that everybody doesn't really value the brand because you can get used Dolce & Gabbana here. It's just people aren't really into that. They want to know what's good, what's the style, what's color is right, the condition. But in the U.S., we could sell a pair of Levi's that are 50 years old or, 70 years old. We could get a few $100 or $1,000. So there's a huge business in that. And then, yes, obviously, China's really big here, and there's a huge business in the counterfeits, whether it's shoes, shirts, belts, wallets, anything you could think of.
Right, yeah. So essentially, I get like you're saying, like it's essentially like for us crossing over, going to Mexico and shopping over there.
Yeah, but I've never been to Mexico, but all I know about this country is there is so much used clothes that I'm not saying our type of used clothes that's like done for. I'm talking about used like new clothes that people are selling in the U.S. Maybe even you bought some for $10, $20, $30 per piece. There's one on here for 10 cents, 20 cents. It's unreal. I'm talking about snow gear, snow pants, Columbia snow jackets, Patagonia. You could name it, and I'll tell you, I've already seen it and had it and sold it for $1. You know what I mean? Coach bags, Louis Vuitton. Everything that you could think of used is here because you have tourists that come here. You have people that are sending stuff to help the poor, the needy. But then you have the rich who are just recycling all that merchandise and turning it into a business. And so the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, but they have a diverse selection of collectibles and used goods here, as well as selling the counterfeits.
Do you get any favoritism because of your skin color?
Yes and no. The favoritism I get is people are like, if I have some issue with maybe official issues, right? With the police, they're usually like, when they see you're American, they usually are like, yeah, what happened? Or they're trying to like figure out how to help you. So that's a good thing. But as far as favoritism and we're going to get overcharged, that's what I was using that word earlier, Paloma, because we come across slow or ignorant because we ask a lot of questions. Well, if these questions don't come along right, then the prices are automatically already increased because it just shows what we don't know. And so because we don't know something, they're going to go ahead and take advantage of that in that second. And so, I mean, there's cons and pros, but if you're good at balancing between, your personal decisions and a business decision, then I think you'd get along really well here. It's just identifying when someone's trying to take advantage of you or when someone's being sincere.
Are y'all expecting rain today?
I was thinking there was going to be, yeah, pretty much, but I'm glad there hasn't been any. There's a little bit of light clouds. It said it was going to be like some scattered shower, and I was going to take you guys to Sosua Beach, but it was a little farther. I was going to be on the bus for like 3 or 4 hours, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the market in the town that's mine because people come from the whole country to come to this market too, in the city that I live, but it's been really weird for the past few months. Business in this country, it's been pretty slow, as you can tell from the markets online as well. Everything's moving slower, and so that trickles downhill.
Have you always had issues charging your battery, or do you need to have a separate battery pack to carry around with you?
Well, just because I was doing videos and I was using my phone a lot this morning, and I started early, like at 5 this morning, jumping around in the markets and stuff. So I just used it up a little too fast. But no, normally I'm fully charged. I actually was supposed to have it. It was charging. I was like, what happened? Maybe the cable was unplugged. I don't know. But I had it charging like at 5 or 6 this morning before I left. And I realized it's on low right now.
You had a storefront that you were thinking about setting up education with. Have you continued to lease that?
I still have it. It's just I'm not in the situation yet. And I mean, I have an abundant amount of merchandise, used and some new. It's just that it's really slow right now. And I don't have a vehicle minus I have a Pasola, which is a scooter. And I load it up, but imagine you can't load up. Everybody always tells me, you got to get a bigger truck. And I just got a scooter, but I loaded up, pretty heavy. And I'm working on that right now. That's my goal for the next month, to get a larger vehicle to start moving around. And I have that storefront, but I need to create some more revenue, which right now is actually ideal time because I have so much stuff. It's just balancing where to take it, because right now this market's it's pretty much dead. I mean, I see some people buying, but it's mostly the sellers sitting down. And that's, I expected that, but I've already made some sales. But it's just a matter of taking action, continuing to share, and work on what needs to be worked on, make the differences, and brainstorm. Just continue working on it.
What days are the best for markets?
Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday.
Are the markets
or Monday,
every day?
Thursday, and Sunday. No, there are markets every day, but they're just far away from me on the scooter. And then, you could easily go to beachfronts, and you could go to the resort areas. Those are huge to just easily make money. I would kill it there, and it would be a lot more beneficial for my time. But I need the vehicle, and so it's a matter of how you're getting transported place to place, on where you're able to go and what you could do. You could easily have businesses on this whole continent, on this whole island. You could just have them scattered throughout because everything is so close. I can get to the capital in 3 or 4 hours, or to the other side of the island. Everything's like 3-4 hours. And so it's pretty much I'm central and just building. So anybody that comes here, they just need reliable transportation, larger vehicles so that you can hold stuff inside, to not be, worried about the weather, as it does usually rain a little bit daily, even if it's just a sprinkle. So, it's a great place.
Tell us about scooter security.
I just put it in God's hands. Don't leave your keys attached. Don't leave it open, especially if you're going through a bad area. somebody will grab your stuff. I mean, as long as you don't look like a tourist, you're pretty much okay. And it depends on the city. I mean, people are always worried about it here, but it's normally because they're in bad predicaments and they're just not using their head. But I mean, just a common rule: just make sure you lock your scooter and you got your key with you. But everybody's you have some people that put the chains on it and stuff like that.
Your city, it's away from the coast, correct?
Uh-huh.
So about how many kilometers or miles inland are you?
I'm in La Vega. So I'm not really sure.
La Vega, is that the largest municipality in your area?
I think it's one of the largest in the country, but I haven't looked up. I know it's one of the most popular. I know it's one of the oldest. They have the tradition of Carnival in like February, the whole month of February. They have a lot of different factories here as well. Probably known for a lot of that.
So let's talk about the Hex merchandise. Have you been able to sell a bit of it? And what do people think about it?
Yeah, so
do they
actually,
have questions? Do they
yeah,
have follow-up questions?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm saying, like, do they have follow-up questions after they participate with the purchase?
So before anybody ever purchases, they're always asking me, what is this? Is this your company? I'm like, no. And then I explain to them, it's a cryptocurrency, and I just fully support the reasons for which it was made. And I just believe that they, as in the company, is here to help others. And I labeled that they're standing for our freedom and freedom to move our money. And this is the future is moving digital. It's already there. And this is one of the many options that they're going to come across and have heard about. And they start telling me about the people that have been robbed or this and that. And I just try to explain to them that they need to go to the site, they need to read it and get the information much more thorough, because sometimes I'm dealing with 20, 30 people at a time. Sometimes it's a personal conversation. So every encounter is different, but everybody's always asking me, what is this? What is this? What is it? But I'm going to have one day random photos where I'm going to just post, because there's so many people wearing the shirts. And it's mostly for the style. Like I was telling you, it's all about what the color is and the style of the design or whatever. But as I was, SJ had did a stream like a week or two ago that really just changed my mind on how I was doing the merchandise. And she was doing a stream, and I think it was with ID. And he was very upset, and she said something. She said, well, I mean, who is everybody supporting? You know, if you guys are claiming Hex, you're talking about all these other names, all these other businesses, all this other stuff. And I was just like, you know what? That's what I've been talking about. I'm all about Hex. I'm all about Post 10 and the 100% about Richard Hart. He's the man. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put out that Hex.com, whatever they got on there, and I'm just going to start pushing that. And then I grabbed a couple pictures of some shoes and stuff that Hex Poseidon did, and a couple other guys. And it's just pushing the natural message for people to reach out and want to see what is this Hex.com. And honestly, you guys are much better qualified, and the site is much better qualified to explain. And I just feel that producing these publications, these walking billboards that everybody's going to be walking around with, I have it on the front, I have it on the back, and I'm selling stuff. Why not just put what I care about on that stuff? And then people are going to be asking me, and I can explain to them what I'm able to, depending on their questions. And that's it. I'm getting the message out, and I'm producing the same message, which is in the same text that Richard Hart has on Hex.com, because that's where I got the information from. And so it's not that I'm looking to get wealthy or rich, because really, man, sometimes I'm selling them for basically the same price that I got them for. It's just to get as much people involved as possible. And the more people that see something, the more people that people engage with something. And so, and then depending on who they're engaging with. And so I know I engage with a lot of different people and different levels, and people are always interested in engaging with me as I am different than what's natural or common here. And so because of that, I just feel like there's going to be a great impact within at least this country until I'm able to send them out to everybody else out over there. Because, I mean, it's worth it. It's valuable. It's a worthy cause. And that's how it's going.
That is really cool that you have this cool artwork on a t-shirt and it's done by maybe Poseidon or one of our talented Hexicans.
Yeah, definitely Juan and Poseidon. Those guys are killing it. And there was another guy that I've been talking to. I don't have it off the top of my head right now. My phone's not that.
Let's talk about Spanish groups, Spanish-speaking groups. Is it WhatsApp that's popular down there?
Yeah. But people are starting to jump in Telegram. I'm seeing it pop up on my Telegram often. People are jumping in.
Maybe you could have some sort of Telegram group written onto the shirt as well.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I am just trying to figure it out right now, but those ideas, like I just had a guy come over to me yesterday, older, knowledgeable guy, and he's like, you should put the Dominican flag. And I was like, that's right. And I should probably put the Haitian flag because they're like kind of in war right now or about to be. And everybody's going on. So to bring it together. And then I was thinking, obviously, I would put Hex on there as well. And my aunt has this program, and I started putting the logo of hers with the Hex as well, because she does teaching, loving, and feeding Haitians and Dominicans, and they're missionaries here for like 30 years. And so I've just been thinking about how to have this worthy cause continue to benefit causes that are worthy, such as, well, food obviously is super important, and clothing, as there's so much available and so many people without, and learning, teaching, which is what we try to do every day. And so it's like, we can all work together, just figuring out how to spread the message the best way.
Where have you seen people using Lightning Network, Bitcoin?
So everybody's really into trading here. And because I don't have the center, I was just talking to a guy yesterday. He's a real estate mogul, and he has property in the United States. He has property all throughout this country, and he said in many parts of the world. And he's a multimillionaire, and he wants me to get involved with him. But everybody's always talking to me about stuff like this, like, well, let's figure this out. It's because I move differently and think differently. And so he was like, well, I was also thinking about, a trading school for crypto, but there's so many people getting ripped off. And, he's like, I was trying to put it in this business area that I have. And, you can contact some of the people that and figure out if they want to invest in a business or purchase a property here or real estate. Or that just happened. That was like 3 or 4 days ago.
Let's talk about actual transactions. Who's accepting Lightning?
Oh, companies and businesses that are accepting crypto payments. There's only a few that I know about, and they're not really publicized or advertised. They're in the bigger cities, and even these. I haven't encountered the Bitcoin ATM. I know I've been to a couple of the locations, and they weren't there. So I know supposedly there's supposed to be like a few different ones. I haven't checked recently. But as far as receiving payments, I have no idea who is currently accepting payments. I personally would love to start accepting payments. Don't have enough knowledge on the implications of it, but I mean, there's so many people who are they're trading that they would actually buy merchandise as well, and it would be easy because they could pay in crypto. So yeah, that would be awesome.
So I just recently heard about the Bitcoin jungle over in Costa Rica, and then I heard about the Bitcoin island over in the Philippines. Do y'all have any sort of central area, or do y'all have any sort of thing that in Haitian and Dominican?
So those groups are really secretive. Not really. They don't even let me get into them. I just know certain people that are a part of the different groups. But they have supposedly really big players here that I'm just not really sure of, and they do get together. But again, I don't know any of that information because I'm not in the same. It's like a mind frame thing. They want traders, and if you're following their way, then I guess you can, follow the breadcrumbs to get to the bigger and bigger pie. And so I'm not aware of where it is, but I am positive that, yeah, they do meet up and they do come together.
Are there financial advisory storefronts in the area?
Not for cryptocurrency. No.
I'm not talking about crypto. I'm just saying, like, do people save money?
Yeah. You have some super, super wealthy people here as well.
So let's go back to the markets. What questions do you think that I should ask?
Well, I mean, I really wanted to show the video, yeah. But concerning the flea market, they sell everything. This is more for people who just like the go, moving things real quick. Or it could be really slow depending on what you have. But if you're a collector, this would be an amazing place for you because there's so many collectibles, whether it be hats, belts, toys, game systems, radios, bags, furniture. Depending on what you're looking for and what you collect, there's a market for you here. And unreal, out of this world pricing that's like, no, that 50 cents. And it's like sometimes $500. I found gold Rolex, not gold Rolex. What type was it? It was a gold watch. I forgot which. It was a Longines. And it was like 18 or 19 karat, 20 karat. It was something like that. It was an older watch, and I paid 50 pesos, and I took it to a jeweler here, and he paid me like 10 or 12,000 pesos, which is like $240.
And so that's a Dominican peso?
Yeah, so every the pesos, and I heard Gerard say 55 or so. It's the same thing. Peso, I mean, peso is peso, I guess. So it's like 50, fluctuating from 50 to 55 all the time. Gold jewelry.
I don't know what you just said. You mean 55 is a US dollar?
No, 50 to 55 is pesos for each dollar. Bonne bienvenue, I'm Pio Pepe. I'm Pio Pepe. Nadia, second good, madame. Second good, too. Nada, second good. So I just had some Haitian clients that came up to me that knew me. Mira. Sa. Yeah, so I'm trying to get a little sale in. Ese sweat, oui. Pero some been good. So I've been learning Creole. That's Creole, not Spanish that I'm speaking right now. Been working on it, That was my introduction. That was our introductory meet and greet that I just did. They're just looking at the merchandise now. What's up? What are you going to do?
I'm going to have a live stream where this audio right here that's being recorded playback, and then I'll play your videos as well. So whatever other videos or pictures, imagery would be great to show while we have this audio.
Okay,
so if you could get me some photos.
Dang, they're taking out the hex.com and looking at it right now. That would have been amazing. But yeah, I'll get some other people doing it. I had like 20, 30 people opening them. I sold so many shirts earlier. I got a guy who grabbed 24. These hex.com look amazing. I got the machine now. I just need to send them out to you guys. I really, really want to send you guys these. And these are all Hanes 100% cotton shirt.
You should be able to go to your camera.
I can go to my camera right now.
You should be able to go to your camera while you're in Twitter Spaces.
I can't even see my screen, man. I can't even see my screen. I think my phone's probably gonna die. I wish it. Dang. Hello. Hello.
We hear you.
Yeah, son second good. Oui. Mira, no abre todo funda. Mira, Sanubo. Son good. A jet por son second good. Lo petit. Oui. I have kids shirts that I'm offering for $1.50. I told them 2 for $1.50, and that's Sim, liso. Ajá. Pero no abre todo así, dime. So I was selling them for $3 for the designed ones, and $1.50 for the kids shirts, and no. And then the socks, I was selling 3 pairs of socks for $1. I know it's super cheap, and I'm not making a ton of profit, but my idea is to move in numbers, and this is relatively new. I've only had this stuff for about a week, and it's developing larger. So the goal is to get the merchandise in as many people's hands as possible. No, I got full. Yeah, so yeah, $1.50 at $3. $1.50 to $3. Yeah, to get them and come back. Ajá, tú abre todo. Vamos já. Vamos. Hello, ma'am. Tú abre todas las cosas y dime. Oh. 50 second good. Bucket. Oh, bucket.
Markets, are they typically like clothing items or wearing items? Do like jewelry, bags, shirts, and pants? But like, do people purchase things like, I know Route is interested in baseball cards. Do they have that sort of thing there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's all that. There's everything. And it's not just at the flea market, like there's stores. Come esa. Come. Ese. Son good. Ese de son good. Caballero, aquí es. Mira ese ahí. Yo te dije, yo tengo original, yo tengo bueno. Todo ese es algodón 100% de Hanes. Todo. So, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
So I'm wondering what items that aren't physically worn.
Well, they sell kitchen goods as well. Kitchen, closet, household items as well as wearable items, as well as your bags, like you're saying, your what else could you? Cups. No, it's a lot of usable products. I mean, it's all functionable, you know. 200 por esa. Liso así, 1.5. Pero si tú coges 2 por 2.5. Pero yo tengo blanco, negro y yo tengo mucho así. Yo tengo azul. Mire, yo tengo gris, yo tengo negro, grande. ¿Qué color tú quieres? Esa es cara. Yeah. And vegetables and fruits and seasoning they sell at the market as well. Ça café garçon. Bonjour, bienvenue. What else? What else did you want to know?
I'm trying to read up on chat to see if there's any questions from people.
Okay. Cool. It would have been awesome. I wish my phone wasn't dead. Well, it's amazing that it's still holding up charge. I'm trying to figure out how I can charge this from this guy right here. Let me see if I can get a little charge. Garzón, déme usar su cargador por unos segundos solo para poner un chip de carga ahí. Ahí. Entonces, solo para cargar un chip, ¿sabes? Yo no sé dónde hay. ¿O tú tienes uno de cargador portátil? Ayúdame.
Are there phones available there at the flea market?
What do you mean, like payphones? Or your phones,
No,
like cell phone? Yeah.
Being
He's
sold.
probably got one right now. Y celulares, tú tienes celulares para vender. Celular. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Tell
this guy
us
doesn't
about
have.
Tell us about uploading more on your data plan.
I usually just pay weekly. Like right now, before I start communicating again with you guys after the 10 o'clock, I buy a plan for 5 days. You know, it's like a prepaid plan, but it has 8 gigabytes of data, and you get 5 days. And, you know, if you use the data, it would just start running real slow and you could buy an extra packet. But usually for most people, 8 gigabytes for 5 days, that's... Ça café, madame? Très bien. Belle. Belle. Oui.
What's the cost of that?
So that cost 170 pesos, which is like $3.20, and you pay about $12 to $15 a month, and you get, you know, everything that I do is paid with that plan. So you get your talk time because everything's on the internet, and then you do get additional direct call time, some international time, a lot of message time.
Tell us about the expense of the gas for the scooter.
50 pesos or like $1 every 2 days, 3 days.
What's your living situation like? Are you renting a place by yourself or do you have roommates?
So I'm renting a place by myself. It's a small house, probably like 400. That same place that you had seen that I had shown the video said, look, I'm trying to do it here. But the other place where I did the video with Daraj when I had called in that one time or got on the StreamYard, that was at my aunt and uncle's. They have a home here. Like I said, they're missionaries, but they're in the United States. And so I was over there just watching their house from that day. But anyhow, I have a 400, it's like a 400 or 500 square foot place, I guess. And it costs me $100 a month. Plus the electric is around like $50 a month because I started doing the iron for the shirts, and that's a little expensive. as well as food is usually about $5 to $12 a day. Eso mío, ¿qué es lo que es, José? Ah, yo tengo la pasola, te sabe. Ah, ¿qué es lo que es, caballero? Compra mi agua, apoyame. Ajá, apoyar ellos también. Mire ese. Mire eso. Mire todo aquí. ¿Qué es lo que es? ¿Qué es lo que es? Tú sabes, aquí es. Yeah, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Nothing. I think I'm out of questions. Anybody who's a speaker would like to ask a question?
And it basically ends there. That was our rundown of everything that Crypto Truth is doing over in La Vega and all these questions that we could get for him. That audio is recorded on Twitter, and now it's recorded on YouTube. Awesome. Hey guys, whenever it is that y'all are on the street using your cameras, please keep in mind we don't want to look at the ground. Focus on buildings and the sky and wide open bit, because we're sitting there in our minds just like turning our neck back, really wanting the camera to go up. Crypto Truth, thank you so much for being over here in the comments. He says that he just finished, I don't know how many of the socks, just an hour and a change ago, but that's awesome. I don't know how many socks that is, because he was saying that there were like thousands of pair matching. You see that whole room full of random socks. He needed to pair those up. And then some of them needed the the toes sewn into them. So he got those at a discount and is flipping them in a way. He also says that, like, while we were talking, or while that was going on, I was looking at a map and I typed in hostel, not hotel, but hostel. And it looked like there was a range from $29 to $49 per night on those hostels. He says that it would be cheaper or better just to rent a house instead of doing that. He tells me now that it's 200,000 pairs of socks. Oh my goodness. There are a ton more planned. Okay. Finbear's joke. They're all left socks only. All right, so Jeepers Creepers. We've got a Halloween treat here. What is going on, Jeepers Creepers? No, Peepers. Jeepers
Peepers. Let's go.
And is that Zuckerberg?
Oh yeah.
That's great.
He's keeping an eye on those Starlinks getting sent out to the Gaza Strip.
Okay. For all you in the central time zone, it's 3:33, so cross your lucky stars or connect them. I like to do screenshots of when it is that we run upon those. Keep the energy going.
Angel numbers.
Indeed.
But I just wanted to add the I don't know if you saw the tweet of GoPulse.com talking about having a credit card or something.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I was just thinking like how easy it would be to be able to, I mean, if you had the infrastructure of like buying things at a discount and actually having them show up on your doorstep and stuff like that, to be able to go through like that credit card on GoPulse to be able to buy off of a easy platform that's basically no KYC.
Now, why would we buy it at a discount?
Just if he's selling it, right? He's got a bunch of socks that he's selling for 55 pesos and whatnot. I mean, I've got a Christmas list that I'm going to be buying from somewhere, and I'm going to be using a credit card when doing so. So if there was a way that was not negative of using a credit card to be buying things off my Christmas list, I mean, just having that set up somehow through the community would be wonderful, because so far the community has been able to take on a lot of other feats, and that seems to be the easy process of getting guys like Crypto Truth, or is that his name? I just closed out the YouTube. Crypto Truth. I mean, if he can get so much for so little, and then just being able to ship that and having I know someone else mentioned like Etsy or whatnot. If you're just buying off of something as simple as that, where it's vetted products, other people have gotten the T-shirts, and here's the store on something like Etsy or I mean eBay. If you can just click and buy and have it show up, like I don't know if if he's got that set up or if that's something you're working on.
No, the issue has been that for him to ship to the United States, it's quite a hefty charge.
Yeah.
So
you would have to be buying, bulk enough product then I would assume.
So he's buying a large amount of product and getting it to the markets where the clientele are.
Yeah,
And then so we have awesome ideas of picking through the shipping containers that get dumped in the Dominican Republic, all the secondhand items. So there's great opportunity for secondhand items, and then there's on the ground opportunity for textile. But he could do the, what do they call it? The value added. He could do that to pieces of clothing, and so that's why we emphasized on him. He got a machine that will print or will press on graphics that maybe people in that area would enjoy, that are created by people like Poseidon, talented artists in our community that put out their stuff for free. So he could grab their graphics, put it on a t-shirt, and then those people are walking billboards.
Yeah, in the Dominican.
In the Dominican. So he's spreading stuff locally. Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of my location rather than the Dominican.
So what is your idea for dispensing material locally to you?
Being able to have it on like trusted like site of some sort. But if shipping is just outrageous, then it's not necessarily practical unless there was specific things that became a brand that was moving numbers of sorts.
He might be able to organize work parties that could pump out a large order. I could see that happening.
That's what I'm thinking. Like if one of the,
but if he was to offer something on Etsy, every $10 sale would be a $40 shipment.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If that like thing that would be on Etsy, say something like Etsy, if that was like a product that people knew that they were getting a great deal through, like it, say whoever was selling like in say the USA or something, if they bought a large bulk item at the whatever, you would have to be able to make, instead of doing one sale from the Dominican, you'd be doing one sale to Etsy, and then from Etsy, everyone that would be buying from that. So then they're getting a cheaper rate of their buying. So the person taking the initial risk would be that brand that's based in a more populated location that would have less of that individual price per shipping order.
So I don't know how Hex Merch does it, but hexmerch.com.
Yeah.
But I know that Hex Days, they have it to where it's a third party that completes the order.
Yeah, it's like shipping.com or something. They have something like that.
In that way, they just optimize the digital convenience. Because if like, so it's made to order, right? There's never any overhead.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to have like holdings in a certain location, but I don't know how that would work with, say, international shipping like that. If you're paying that cost per item, I don't know. You would have to you'd have to have it in the continental region, not to get gypped every time, not to say racial slurs on accident, but
Yeah. Let's see. Facing Reality sent me a bunch of these boxes filled with little small pastry crepe thingamajiggers, flat waffles that were caramelized thingamajiggers. He sent those, and like it cost, I don't know, like $50 to $70 to send it, and then I think he had some sort of a tax to send it out as well.
yeah.
So it was very expensive for him to send stuff out of his own country. At that time, it was the Netherlands.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he would do one large order or something and pay the one shipping cost, and then it'd be able to be distributed cheaper in the location after that one cost is sent out. But I haven't done like shipping.com and see how they do stuff, but I would imagine you would have to pay the initial. You wouldn't want to have to continue to pay the initial exorbitant shipping fee.
HOA corrects me. Stroop waffles. That was the word I was looking for. Tin Top says, how about a really fast hex wrapped cigar boat from the Florida Keys back and forth from the Dominican Republic? That'd be great.
That would be awesome. Yeah, right. They've already got the infrastructure. That's how they do it. That's how it's been done. Or become the governor of Arkansas.
Don't get Crypto Truth so excited. Come on. All right, so that's the show. That's what we had planned this time. Crypto Truth, sorry I dropped the ball Monday morning. I hope I made it up to you with all of this, and we got the images and the videos and compiled it all together with the audio. Thanks, Jeepers Peepers, Zuckerberg for coming on, and y'all just keep on brainstorming and stake your hex. Crypto's coming around, and we're all going to be awesome on the flip side. That about it.